Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Prescribed Truth Live. What's it call it? Overview. Let me see here. Chat gonna be the wrong way. Let me sit here. Hope your Lord's Day was going well, that you're able to fill up with the body. Cavante, what's going on, my brother? How's it doing? Man, yo, got busy. Hey, same here, bro. It's all good, man. It's all good, fam. It was short notice anyway, man. You know how it go. So it's all good, man. I've just been chilling at the house, man. I had stuff I need to be doing anyway. We put our Christmas tree up, and so I had to put all the boxes back up and everything else, and so that's that. And so I had to put stuff back in the attic and clean up some stuff around the house. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna be on here long because we go get dinner for the family in a little while, so I'm not gonna be on here long either. So I just want to come on and just tell you what my plans are for this week concerning the podcast, man. So I don't know if you guys were available. I know, Baron, I knew you weren't here because you had other things going on with the family. But the other night when me and Edwin Ramirez did a recording, that thing was like 4 hours long. 4 hours, man. Well, almost. It was like 3 hours and 50 some minutes. And so because of that, I was like, well, that was for YouTube. I'm going to break that down. Somebody had requested that we put it in podcast form. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down into a few videos. Say about 3 hours and 50 some minutes long. I think I can break that up into like a few 30-minute segments, you know what I'm saying? And probably give like some intro commentary on them. But that's what I'm going to do for the next couple weeks. And that'll actually take us through December. So come January, probably the beginning of January, or the second week in January, we'll be on to a new episode of the, I'm still gonna count this as an episode of the podcast, but onto some other things. So yeah, I think that's a good way to finish out the month that way. And we're dealing with the pastoral ministry. We talk about a few things in that topic. I mean, it was like a few things, not just whether or not people like only pastors should baptize. But we talked about a few things. We talked about women pastors. We talked about what it means to be a minister, given what a lot of churches talk about in their congregations, and even how some churches misuse Timothy and talking about bishops versus elders. Saying like, and so we talked about a few things in that, man. It was really good. I think there was enough information within that conversation may be very beneficial and could last. So so 3 hours and 50 minutes long of content. I'm gonna break it down into about a few episodes of the podcast for the audio version. So for those of you who caught it on YouTube, who catching this live right now, you can go back and watch it. And it's, it says 3 hours and about 56 minutes long. So you're welcome to go back and watch it. I'm not going to break it down on the channel. I'm just going to leave it as it is. I was going to break it down and make it into parts, but what I've seen on my channel concerning when I break stuff down and make them into parts is that people will watch the first part, but then won't go watch the second part, the third part. Not everybody. Some people will. So it really doesn't do that well to break it down. So I figure people just, play it. They'll pause it. When they go get busy, have to do something, whatever, they'll come back to it if they are that interested in the conversation. And so, so that's how I'm going to go about that. But I will break it down in the audio version. And I'm going to send it to Brother Edwin. I don't know if he wanted to plug it up on his platform or not, but I am going to send it to him as well. But yeah, so that's it. I'm trying to think of any more updates. Y'all have heard me talk a lot so far about the giveaway. So just still keep that in mind. Got the giveaway going on. Well, we got the giveaway coming up. The giveaway is coming up, but the preparing for it and everything else is now. So just be mindful. Hey, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, like the Facebook page, leave a review. Subscribe to the email list, prescribetruth.com. You know, you can, that's all the ways to enter into the drawing that I'm going to do January 3rd. Yesterday's stream, if you were able to, man, Blake Wimberly came on yesterday. We did a stream talking about the arguments for the existence of God. Man, it was very, very, very helpful for me and encouraging. Man, I definitely learned some things, man. And so I hope for you who watched it was edified as well. I mean, it was really good, really good. So plan on doing something else later on. Just really thankful to have met him. You know, thankful he reached out to me. And it's always encouraging, man, when I meet brothers and sisters in the faith, when they watch this channel, they come across one of these videos, and then we able to chop it up and we, you know, just strike that common brotherhood, man. I really do love that. And yeah, it was just a beautiful conversation yesterday. Just grateful for Blake coming on. And yes, I mean, that just goes to show, guys, like when you call the 801 number, you know, I do answer. You know what I'm saying? I do answer. He called me. He left a voicemail. That's how, matter of fact, it was last weekend heading out of town. He hit me up and left a voicemail on the when he called the phone. And I got back to him. It took him a couple of days because we was out of town. But when I got back in town, I hit him up. You know, we were playing phone tag a little bit. But we finally got a chance to chop it up, and you know, everything else was golden after that, man. So yes, you're welcome to call the number. You know, I have people sending me links dealing with the social justice narrative about, I think the recent one was dealing with the justice system, and some stuff I'm going to look over that some people have been sending me. So I'm gonna look over some stuff like that. So coming up after December, when we get into the new year, you know, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be quite a few things I want to discuss, quite a few things. And I've been thinking lately, guys. I've been thinking lately about getting into stuff dealing with the family, because the truth that I want to share on this channel is not always gonna be about, well, it should not always be about, you know, things that are going on in the church per se, as far as what's happening with people and stuff like that. But it's also dealing with what happens with our families, you know, husbands and wives and children. Because when I was in the cult, it didn't just affect me, as far as how I operated in church. It affected how I lived. It affected how I saw my parents. It affected how I saw my cousins and my family. It affected how I saw marriage. You know, it affected how I saw my children, you know. And so, yeah, I'm thinking on, you know, guys, let me know what you think. I'm thinking on doing topics dealing with, I did a video a while back on love, you know, did a video on love, and how it's misunderstood in our culture. And so that was like a short video, but I haven't done like a podcast on it or anything like that. But I've been thinking about whether or not I was going to do content dealing with husbands, and you know, and how we should love our wives, and the encouragement from scripture of how we should love our wives, and the command from scripture how we should love our wives, how we should be with our children, and so on and so forth. So in our culture, the idea of love is so shaky and so weak that it's no true foundation. So it's like, soon as any little bit of wind blows, it falls apart. And so I wanted to deal with that, and probably in a podcast form. I'm not sure if I will. Depends on what's pressing and what's going on. But that's something I do want to get into eventually on a podcast. But yeah, but as far as this Sunday goes, or today's Sunday, as far as this week goes, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to release 30 minutes of that video in podcast form, and just gives like some brief commentary in the beginning, just some intro into what we're talking about and what that segment will be about. So every week until that is done, or unless something else pressing comes up, like if something else comes up more important, you know, than sharing that, then I will, you know, address it as far as that week goes. But other than that, it'd be like a brief commentary on what this segment was going to be about, you know, this portion of 30 minutes is going to be about, and then into the actual discussion itself. So, and one thing I loved about that interaction between me and Edwin was that, like, that was like a normal conversation with us. Like, outside of trying to incorporate what was going on in the chat and stuff like that, this is how we normally would talk to one another in working through a situation or working through scripture or something. So I just thought it was very encouraging on my, for me, it was very encouraging, and everything else. So yeah. And what I wanted to do, you know what, on YouTube, now that's for the podcast. Now, as far as YouTube goes, stay tuned. I feel the need, because I did a video. Okay. Yeah, I did a video dealing with addressing Brother Jay's comments from a post that was previously on Facebook, and listening to a conversation listening to a conversation he's on live now with a gentleman he goes by Faithful to God on YouTube. And man, like I think I've been wanting to last year. I wanted to, I didn't get around to it, but wanting to deal with some stuff, just a couple of videos. Now I'm not gonna do a series on this. I got content dealing with this stuff already, but I think it's important to have some updated stuff as far as how, dealing with Christmas and the traditions that we do and things we should abstain from. I do believe there are some traditions in Christmas that we should abstain from, and I don't know if those who hold to stuff like Brother Jay would know that I do make a distinction with certain things. But there are things that I do believe that when it concerning Christmas we should abstain from, and there are things that I don't feel there's any harm in, any scriptural convictions for any harm done. But I do believe there are some traditions in Christmas that there are scriptural convictions as to why we should abstain from them. So yeah. But I think, and that's why I think distinctions matter. So going forward, I do, as far as YouTube goes. Now I don't know the frequency of when I'm going to do, how I'm going to do these videos. I don't know if I'm going to do them once a week, along with how I do the podcast once a week, or I'm going to do a couple a week. But there will be live streams. I will be live when I do them, and it would have to be something very late for me to just do a recording and upload it the next day. But other than that, I do plan on doing lives. I'm dealing with these things because I like the interaction. I want people to comment their thoughts and stuff, pushbacks and everything. Man, like, feel free to contact me, 801-980-6333. You can email me, prescribed.truth@gmail.com. You can find out more about Prescribed Truth at prescribedtruth.com. And if you like to support this, if you are subscribed to the podcast, I hope you saw the episode I posted about the giveaway. And if not, once again, we're doing the giveaway January 3rd. Will be 3 years of doing Prescribed Truth. 3 whole years. Excited about it. And so check out well, I've mentioned it. I've mentioned it in depth, and not the last live stream I did, but the one I did before, the video I did before I was recording with Edwin. I mentioned it on there. So check that out. And I also got Facebook posts. If you're on the Facebook page, I mentioned it on there as well. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna plan on being here long because I'm finna go get dinner for the family. I just want to come on and let you guys know what the plan was for the next couple of weeks, for the podcast, and then I guess also what's going on with the YouTube channel as well, what I plan on covering. So if you have any ideas, if you have anything that you feel is pressing, be some good topics to talk about, send them to me. Let me know what's on your mind, and we'll go from there. But until then, I'm gonna be dealing with, on the podcast wise, just throwing this out there, dealing with pastoral ministry, and also going into social justice and stuff when we get into the new year. There's some stuff I want to cover on all that, and then on the YouTube front, because it's in December, we'll be dealing with Christmas. And so up until Christmas, and then after Christmas, we'll move on to some other stuff on the YouTube front. All right. So just putting that out there. So remember, this world is full of errors, but the only thing that the doctor prescribes is truth. Blessings.